this call that I had this morning. I'm not going to. Lily.
Hello.
I think we're live again. Go live. It's not letting me. Whoops. LinkedIn says you're not approved for LinkedIn Live. It's only,
it says on my screen that we're live.
Yeah, I know, but I think I'm trying to broadcast it over. Anyway, hello, everybody. Today was quite an emotional day, and it still is.
And a roller coaster.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So if anyone's watching and wants to feel what it feels like to have a roller coaster ride, I can tell you startups are generally a roller coaster. But God, it's just been, for anyone that knows the story of the whole Meet Magic journey, you've got to actually understand the context. You've got to understand where this has all come from and how difficult it is to actually create something that's new, because it is really new. And when you start to get evidence of it working, that's when you start to feel emotional about it. And today was one of those days. Yesterday, so I'll give you some context. For 3 years, as you know, Lily, I've been busting my ass to try and get this whole Meet Magic thing off the ground, because I think it's a great way for charities to raise money. About a year ago, about a year ago, we got the opportunity of having a partnership with Starlight, and we created the Meeting for Good campaign, which so far has been a rip-roaring, absolute goddamn success. So we've done, over $150,000 will be donated to Starlight, and we've done that within 6 months. Now, the way we've done that is by connecting vendors with executives, and each of those meetings that takes place has an impact on Starlight and raises money for those sick kids. Well, the journey of getting the 230 or almost 240 execs on board has been laborious, draining, tiring, hard work, frustrating. Pick all of those words that make you feel drained. That is what I've had that for 3 years. And every time we get a new exec that signs up, every time we get a new, like a Fred Thiel who's just come on board Fred's the CEO, the CISO of New South Wales Transport, one of the biggest government departments in New South Wales, just agreed to take a meeting. Thanks, Fred. We love you. That is a punch to the ear moment for us, and it always will be every time we get a new exec come on board.
Literally every time. Every time.
Yeah, it's that emotional, because it feels it's progress that's being made. And so yesterday, this is the context. We've obviously been doing a great job. We've got lots of clients coming on board now, over 30 vendors. Some of the biggest brand names in technology are doing business with us. It's the CrowdStrikes, the Netscopes, the Auth0s, the Dells, the biggest brands in tech. And yesterday I got an email. It was a Zoom meeting request with the head of marketing. And I just sat back and sort of shrunk. And I thought, oh my God, what's this about? I had no idea what it was about. I wasn't in communication with her. She's moved over to Perth because family and coronavirus and all that sort of stuff. And we've sort of been communicating online, but not necessarily face to face. And I know we've been doing a good job. I think they've had almost 40 meetings with us, this company. And I didn't know if we were doing good enough. I didn't know if it was working well. I didn't know what was going on. When I got this Zoom request, I shrunk, and I thought, oh no, what is this? And it was almost like I was avoiding it. My imposter syndrome was massive. My radar was, I'm not good enough. We're not good enough. We're not delivering. We're not doing the right things. All that shit stuff that I told myself. And then this morning, I didn't even put that call in my head. And I'm sat down working out ways that we can get more execs on board. And I realized I've missed the call with our client, one of our key clients. And so I pick up the phone, as I look at my phone to dial her, she's dialing me. And I immediately just clenched bum moment. I thought, oh no, oh my God. And I said, hi, so sorry. And I had this conversation and she said, how are you? And I just went into, oh, it's been good, we're growing, but it's been very difficult getting execs on board, excuse, hoping that I'd dig myself out of a hole that didn't even exist. And then she comes on and says, I just want to let you know that the campaign we've had with you has been our most successful enterprise campaign ever. And our VP of Asia is so happy with these meetings because they've made his number and he wants to do lots more. He wants to do more marketing with you. He wants to go to market with you. He wants you to open up London, New York, Asia, and all these other places. How can we do that? What can we do? It's been amazing.
Wow.
So for anyone that's watching this, I mean, this is the startup world. This is the roller coaster bullshit that you go through. Yes, it's all about communication. Yes, it's all about being in touch with your customers. Yes, it's all of that stuff. But there are times when you doubt yourself. And there are times when you just want to bury your head and not wake up. This is what I've gone through over the past 2 to 3 years. And to get some validation, not just once, we've heard this now twice from 2 global vendors that the work that we're doing has been the best that they've seen in their careers. Now,
twice in 2 weeks, may I just add?
Yeah. And I know, Lily, we've been flat this week. The whole team's been flat. Yeah. And we've been sitting there going, what are we doing wrong that we can't get these executives to give us their time? What is it that's stopping them from saying yes to giving us 45 minutes of time?
Yeah. I think as well is that I think as we grow as a startup, our what's it called? I'm missing the word. Our idea of what's good is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Our goals are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Before it was like, oh, okay, if we get 5 execs this week, like that's a really good week. And now it's, oh, if we don't make 20, this is slow. This is rubbish. What's going on? And so I just think our expectations, there's the word, are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so that's why I think like our weeks that like, if we were having a week like this 3 months ago, this would be a giant week. And we'd be like, oh my gosh, look at us go. But now because our expectations are higher, we're feeling flat and we're feeling, oh, this isn't working. Like, how do we get bigger and bigger? Like we need more execs, we need more vendors, we need more this. And it's kind of a grass is always greener. So I think that's really important to keep in mind, but you're so right. We're in the startup world and it's a major roller coaster all the time.
It is crazy. And you know, I was talking to my friend Shane this morning and last night, and it's not just us. I mean, I think we tend to tell ourselves a story in our heads that things aren't right and they're not good enough, and we sabotage because of that. We don't make that phone call. We don't understand what's going on in the real world, and we make up stories in our head. And you know, for the life of me, I feel like I'm the most positive person ever. And for the past few days, I felt shit. And that comes across in everything that you do, in the language that you use, until something like that comes along and really gives you that massive boost. And gee whiz, I tell you, tell me something, because one of the biggest challenges that I've had, and I know you've been doing some research into this. One of the biggest challenges I've had is how do we connect with more women in the tech space? And I know you're going to get on. This is going to get you, because we are what's that? Our company's 80% women.
Yeah. So this is something that I wanted to talk about today, and like as you just mentioned, like we are really happy at the moment, and we've just gotten some amazing validation on what we're doing, which has been amazing, and it's been fantastic to get that recognition from some really, really big companies. Now I'm just going to shift gears a little bit because there's something that is really upsetting me. So, as Carl just mentioned, our company is run by 80% women. Now, given there's not many of us, we are a startup, we are small, but I think how many? I think there's two. There's Carl and Colin, and then we've got the rest of us are girls. So it's been great. It's been lovely. It's hilarious because we hop on to a team meeting and it's just all of us ladies chatting away, and then Carl. But the thing that I realized today, because where I'm really trying to break into to get some executives on board, is women in technology. So from one woman in technology to another, I want some advice on why we can't seem to get more females involved. So I did a little tallying and I kind of went through our 235 executives and I sussed it all out. And we're currently sitting at 16% females pledging meetings in our campaign. So just to put that in perspective, there's 37 out of 235 pledging meetings.
Wow.
That's just not good enough, ladies.
Yeah.
So I'm just desperate for advice because I want to break into that sphere. I don't know if I understand. I'm not stupid. I know the technology sphere and C-suites. I know all of that is dominated by men. I'm not silly. I've studied sociology for years, so I understand that. But come on. I know you're out there, ladies. So let's donate some meetings. Let's break the patriarchy. And let's get some amazing meetings happening.
Do you know there are some really big females in the tech space who are very powerfully influential? The Pip Marlows of the world. You know, we should put a call out to the Pips because that 16% figure is really. I remember talking about this. I think it would have been back in January. I think I was walking through the city of Sydney doing a video for LinkedIn, and I was talking about this diversity and inclusion and how I felt. I just felt there was this divide, not only between the states. So the Victorians seem to be very generous. New South Wales people seem to be up themselves, and Queensland, well, forget it. We can just very rarely get Queensland on board. I don't know what it is about the sunshine up there, but it's much harder to get Queensland execs on board than it is to get New South Wales, than it is to get Victorians. And there's a clear divide here, not only between the states, but now also the sexes.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. So I've reached out to some of our female executives, our Anastasia Camarados, our Lucy Lewis, and our Ann Bennett's. I've reached out and I've said, I just need some advice because I want to get more women involved. I want more women taking meetings. I want more women making a difference because this is a really cool initiative. Yeah. And I want a bit of girl power. So I'm hoping that we can get some advice. But anyone watching this, feel free to message me if you're like, oh, Lily, check out this group. They're doing some amazing things. Girl power. Let's do this. But I'm struggling. It's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And this morning I was talking to Shane Barr, a good friend of mine from Transformed. If you've not seen the Transformed team yet, you go and have a look at those guys. But I was talking to Shane about some of the things, just some of the actions that people are taking in the corporate space, and it's very odd sometimes. But one of the things that we're going to be doing, which we're very, very exciting about, is have the top corporate comedian in the country come on LinkedIn Live, and I'm hoping we can do this next week. But he is, I think when people see who he is, they won't be able to hide anymore because he'll call them out. He'll call them out. So I'm going to be hopefully I'm going to have a conversation with him later today. But it looks like we're going to be able to get this very famous comedian in the corporate world to come online with us and have a chin wag and a bit of a conversation about this. And I don't know what the answer is. I would love advice from anybody that we've reached out to in the past, anybody that we've connected with, because we seem to say there's no set formula to reach out to say, hey, give us some time. There really isn't, and we can't find one, because some things work, some don't. We get some say yes, some say no. There's no
it's really, it's 100%. It's like, it's a pick and mix. Sometimes we have, like, it literally changes all the time. For anyone that's wondering, we get random lists and we do a little bit of cold calling. And on some lists, they're all like, honestly, random lists of just decision makers at large scale companies. And some lists, Colin gives them a call. Everyone's like, yep, donate time. And then we get other lists and everyone's like, no, not interested. Not my thing. No, don't have time. Sorry. And it's just so random, because sometimes sometimes the little blurb that Colin says works and everyone's like, yes, I'm down. Let's do it. And then sometimes everyone's like, no, don't have time. But everyone has time for 45 minutes in front of your computer to help 18 sick kids. Come on.
Let's
be real.
There is no excuse anymore. I know everyone's got time. And who was it who said to me once, if you want something doing, give it to a busy person. So really, when I look at the execs who are giving us their time, the Andrew Matazaks, the Brad Blythes, the Anna Camaratos, the people that are really busy, they're the ones that are actually really generous with their time. And it's almost I know Anna's been a huge supporter of ours, and we've got 2 meetings in the diary with her for June.
Yeah,
I think
she's doing like 1 a month.
I know, and it's really exciting that we're able to get her on board, and a very senior exec at Westpac. And I just wonder why we can't get 1,000 of these. There's got to be at least 10,000 execs in Australia.
Yeah,
easily across the country. Why we can't get 1,000 of these overnight is beyond me. And I think it's just getting the word out. I think that's half the battle is getting them. It's the whole obscurity thing. And sometimes I think to myself, and I met with Maddie this morning for the first time. I met our head of operations for the first time ever, and that went really well. And I just having conversation with her face to face really helped, because it makes me realize that what we're actually doing is getting ready for the onslaught, and all the systems and all the structure and all the stuff that we're putting into place at the moment with the automations and with all the things that you're doing with that, it's actually getting it prepared. And so all the testing of the 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 20 meetings here, it's getting it ready so it works. And so all of a sudden, when we do get that 1,000 come in, we're ready. Because I think if 1,000 hit us right now, 1,000 execs, and all of a sudden, we've got 100 vendors and they want 2,000 meetings booked in the diary. How would you do that? It's a big number, right?
Yeah.
So I think the good thing is we're building and putting all the systems and all the structure in place, and testing what works and testing what doesn't work, and making things refined, making so the experience that our customers and the execs are getting is actually a good one.
100%.
And that is absolutely what's happening right now. For us to get the feedback from the vendors that these are the best meetings they've ever had, and that in itself is monumental. I mean that. So I was on the phone with a client and I cried. I had tears coming out of my eyes, and I told her I'm crying, and she said, "Why?" I said, "Because it's 3 years of hard work. It's the same feeling I got when Starlight agreed to come on board with us. When we agreed, it took us 6 months of negotiating with Starlight, and to get that to a point where it was agreed, that was a 6-month journey, and it's emotional. It really is. You doubt yourself all the time. It's crazy." But for us to get
100%.
and for us to get that sort of validation coming back, it just speaks volumes. For the clients to say they want us to go to America, the US, and Asia with them, that in itself is, you know, look, if I was a
No
billionaire,
words.
if I was a billionaire, I'd give me some money to grow this thing and put it in place properly, because it's just there's no downside anywhere. Everybody's winning. The execs are winning.
Yeah, most definitely.
The execs are getting so much value out of these meetings, and you don't listen to us. Just log on to the meetmagic.org website. Can you see that? Is our website up there? No. Yeah, there it is.
There we are.
Wrong way. It's really hard to point.
There we are.
Log on to that website right there, and in the top, in the banner, there's a testimonial page. Go and have a look at some of those, some of that feedback from some of the execs and some of the vendors, because when you see this happening, you know, I just want to. It hurts me to make this thing become a global thing. There's no reason why it can't be. There's no reason why this is not in 10 cities around the world doing 1,000 meetings every month, raising millions of dollars for charity through something that is happening every single day, and that's meetings. And it's just it's a complete no-brainer for everybody. So anyway, I'm waffling again, Lily. Christ.
No, that's okay. No, I completely agree with you. And I think it was very lovely to get some amazing feedback. But I think just in general, like we appreciate feedback, be it good, bad, ugly, critical. Any feedback is good feedback. Today, for example, we got feedback and it said it said we don't want to help you, but here's why.
Yeah.
And their why helped us more than you would know.
Yes.
So helpful. Just tell me why. Yeah. If there are women executives out there who, for a valid reason, don't want to help us out, don't want to donate their time, I don't really understand, but give me a why. Give me some feedback. Tell me, Lily, you're actually not reaching out to me in a way that I appreciate. Or Lily, it's not aligned with my business needs. Whatever the reason may be, just tell us why. Give me something. Because I think, honestly, the feedback, whether it be good, bad, ugly, we like it and we appreciate it.
There really is no reason why. Look at Shane. I've got to do it. Shane Barr. So, if you don't do it, they must be. I think you spelled losers wrong.
Losers.
Shane, we love you. There you go.
Oh,
if anyone's not connected with this man yet, I'd urge you to. He knows everything from the rag trade through to technology, and has one of the smartest technology companies on the planet right now as well. So Shane Barr, he's there must be losers.
Must be losers.
Anyway, Lily, that's you know, I was glad when you came on board, because when I look at where we've come from 92 execs to almost 240, that's a lot of growth. It's a lot of growth. It's a lot of growth, and I'm very grateful for that. And I listen to you speak, and as a young woman playing around in the corporate world right now, you've
literally, I'm just making it up as I go along.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? Even at that,
so no one tells you that you just make it up as you go along.
Yeah, and you know, most of the execs do too.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, I know a lot of them do actually, because, in fact, Andrew Madazak, CTO, West Farmers Industrials, doesn't prepare for board meetings. He goes because he says if he prepares, he forgets.
You're just throwing him under the bus here.
No, this is actually edification. This is edifying him, because he's that smart and good at what he does. He walks into that and he can present a very valuable proposition and reason why something's happening the way it is and the way it's working off the top of his head, making it up, not making it up as he's going along, but explaining things face to face, as opposed to sitting down with a PowerPoint going.
Yeah.
And that in itself is a massive skill. And so we're doing the same thing.
100%.
I think most people are doing the same thing today. I think everyone's making shit up.
Yeah, no, surely.
They really are. Everyone.
If you're the one human in the world that's not making it up, let me know your secrets. Tell me.
We're done. Thank you very much for your help, Lily. And 16,
Oh, thank you.
if you're a woman and you're a tech leader, it ain't good enough. 16%.
On.
16%.
Register your time.
16%.
Now I know my ladies are good enough, so we don't even have to question that.
Yeah.
I need to know. I need to understand why.
And a shout out to Liv Morgan for all of her help with the marketing as well, because she's doing a cracking job with the marketing.
Yeah, she's listening.
Loved all the stuff that we've put out there today, which is really good. Thank you, Liv.
She's one of our amazing female staff.
Yes, we need more. And you know, my house is 50% female too.
Oh, yeah.
It's only me and my daughter.
Oh, what about Bender? Bender's a boy.
No, he's a hermaphrodite.
Oh,
Okay.
dear. Okay, well, have a beautiful afternoon.
You too, Lily. See you soon.
See ya.
Yo. Okay.